Once upon a time, just a few days before Christmas Eve, a great big hush fell over the North Pole. Usually, it was a bustling, joyful place filled with the sounds of hammering, singing, and laughter. But not today. A mysterious illness, the sparkle sniffles, had spread through the workshop, and all the elves were too sleepy to work. Their noses had lost their rosy glow, and their pointy hats drooped sadly. Even the reindeer were sniveling. Santa Claus paced back and forth in his study, his big white beard tangled with worry. The toy sacks were only half full, and there was still so much to do. Christmas was in danger. Just when he thought all hope was lost, two of the youngest elves, Pip and Holly, tiptoed into his room. Unlike the others, they were full of energy because they had been out playing in the candy cane forest and missed the spark. "Santa," said Pip bravely, his bell-topped hat jingling. "We can help!" Holly nodded, her bright eyes wide. "We might be small, but we have big ideas." Santa looked at the two tiny elves, and a glimmer of hope sparked in his heart. "All right, little ones," he chuckled. "What's your plan?" Pip and Holly knew they couldn't build all the toys themselves. So, their first stop was the kitchen, where Mrs. Claus was famous for her magical gingerbread cookies. They explained the problem, and Mrs. Claus immediately tied on her apron. Together, they baked hundreds of get-well gingerbread stars, filled with cinnamon for warmth and a secret dash of giggling ginger. Next, Pip and Holly gathered the gingerbread stars and tiptoed through the quiet workshop. They left a star on each sleeping elf's workbench. The warm, spicy smell filled the air. One by one, the elves began to stir. An elf named Barnaby took a small bite, and suddenly, his nose started to glow rosy red again. A little giggle escaped his lips. Soon, the entire workshop was filled with the sound of munching and happy giggles. The sparkle sniffles were gone. With the elves feeling much better, the workshop sprang back to life. But they were still behind schedule. Holly had another brilliant idea. She remembered the forest animals who were always so kind to them. She and Pip zoomed out on a tiny peppermint sled and gathered all their woodland friends. The squirrels with their nimble paws, the bunnies with their quick hops, and the wise old owls. The animals were delighted to help. The squirrels helped wrap small presents, their fluffy tails wagging with excitement. The bunnies hopped back and forth, carrying ribbons and boughs. The owls, with their excellent eyesight, made sure every toy was perfect. The workshop was a whirlwind of joyful activity, a happy team of elves and animals working side by side. Finally, on Christmas Eve, the very last toy was placed in Santa's sack, just as the sleigh bells began to jingle. Santa beamed, his eyes twinkling brighter than the North Star. He gave Pip and Holly each a big, warm hug. "You too," he said, his voice full of pride. "You didn't just help make toys. You reminded us all that the true magic of Christmas is working together and helping one another. You saved Christmas." That night, as Santa flew across the starlit sky, Pip and Holly stood waving from the North Pole, their hearts full of joy. They knew that no matter how small you are, a kind heart and a good friend can make the biggest difference in the world. And now, my little star, it's time for you to close your eyes and drift off to sleep.